Hey everybody, Mr. K back. Got some new winter projects in the shop for a little bit this evening, and it's pretty cold out, so you can see my breath. So it's chilly in here, but it's not too bad. Okay, so our next project is going to be a friend of mine has a set of Evo heads, and we're going to go ahead and go through them and see what's going on. So I'm going to take you along. I started taking apart the front head, but I'm going to I'll do a little video on what we look for, things that could be wrong, and then how we clean everything up and how we get them apart. So we're going to go ahead and take these heads, and we'll get the valves out of there, check the keepers, and we'll test the springs. And then we're going to go ahead and look and see where the valves are hitting the seats and all that good stuff. So I'm going to take you along with that. It is winter time. I may be putting new cam chain tensioners in that. We got some other, that's an 88 883 rebuild we're doing. Got our finished pan head, and I just got another 59 pan head, which may be next on the rack or project. And then there's our old shovel head, and there's our 67 iron head. I did pick up, there's a 79 iron head. I did pick up a set of chrome rocker boxes to fix the 67, and I got the early ones. They're chrome. They're a little rough, but we're going to go over them and make sure everything's good and put them back on, and then wait for a nice warm day to kickstart that bugger up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead on with these Evo heads though, and I have a nice Jim's tool in my vise right here. You go ahead and you stick the head in there, put your valve spring in here, crank this, and it will squeeze your valves so you can get your keepers out. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm going to take these valves out using this Jim's valve spring compressor. I just mount it in a vise, and you're going to want to put the point of this into the center of your valve. So we're just going to go ahead and put it there like that. See how it's stepped and ready right in there, and then hold it and then spin this side right into the center of the valve. And as you can see, that one's catching a little bit. As you can see, the springs come it comes right out. Then you can take your keepers out, and they drop right out. So make sure that you catch them. Okay. Sometimes using a little magnet is good. And then go ahead and undo it. I got my assistant today to help me with the filming, because you do need two hands with this. And this is a nice tool. Okay, so then you can go ahead and take your springs off. I'll pick that up. Check got the valve seal. Now on the other head, looked like the seal was busted, so I don't know if that was causing his issues or not, but we're going to see. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how to use this tool. I'm going to go ahead and pull the other one off, and then I'll show you how everything looks. Okay, so I got the valve out, and what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and we're going to take a pair of pliers and wiggle this seal right off there gently. try and do it with one hand. And there we go. We got it off. So we look. Then your collar will come off. Okay, so then what we're going to do is get this thing cleaned up. I'll get the other valve out. Alrighty. Okay guys, so I got the valves all out of these Evo heads, and we're going to get them all cleaned up, and then we're going to start measuring everything. Like we're going to measure the valves to the guide clearance, and then we'll go ahead and see how the valves are seating in the seats. And the only thing I can see right now, we're going to take these heads and get them cleaned up and put them in the glass beater and see if there's anything. The only thing I can really see is this is the exhaust valve guide. Okay. And you can see, just real quick reference, the height. Let me say here real quick, you know, just real quickly, the height. And then you go to this exhaust valve guide. Looks like the guide dropped. So there's something we got to check out to see if that guide, is that guide loose in there? I'm not sure. Okay, so we're going to clean that bugger all up and see what we're looking at. Hopefully, I see a little bit of a gap right there. I can't really focus in. Yeah, well, I try it. I'll get it cleaned up and show you later. Doesn't look like, though. Looks like there's kind of a gap around the guide and the head. I don't know if these guides have been out before or not, but okay, I can't really focus in there. But so I'll take you along with this one and we'll see what we can do. Other than that, the valves don't look too bad, but we're going to put them in the machine and we're going to see if they're bent or anything like that. And then we'll touch on the seats and see how they look. First off, though, we got to get everything super clean. Okay, so follow along, and we're going to get these heads reconditioned. Alrighty. Okay, guys, back on the Evo heads, I took them to the blast cabinet and blasted them all up. And actually, you can see right there that guide is pretty cracked. And what I think happened is this valve guide definitely dropped, and it dropped down to the point to where it was on the stem of the valve, to where it had to be making a pretty good noise, and it cracked that guide. That was also the same guide where the seal was busted. So you can also see too, and I'm going to see if I can get it with my light here. You can see it looks like the guide, and I know it's tough to see, but the guide is really, there's a gap between the guide and the head, and it's tough to get in there, but you can see it. Anyway, definitely the guide's got to come out, and it's probably going to need an oversized guide. But more than that, here's another thing that we found, and I cleaned everything up, and you can see here, if I can show you good enough, there's some pretty heavy cracks all the way up through the spark plug hole. On that side, on this side, you can see that crack pretty good right there. All the way up through the spark plug hole. Both heads. If you come over to this head and look, same way. That one, both heads are cracked all the way up through the spark plug hole. pretty heavy on both. This one's cracked even worse on this side. So we're stopping right now. This is as far as we go. We're not gonna go any further. We're gonna see what the customer wants to do. It's gonna need some heavy machine work, I would think. So that's where we're at. So what you know, what do you think? Has anybody with the Evo heads had them crack like that? And did you weld them? Did you take the seat inserts out, have them welded up? Because really, that's pretty far down into the spark plug hole. That one is. So we're gonna stop on these babies. It's gonna need guides, probably oversized guides. Then we're gonna need the seats removed, fill the cracks up. Almost, is it worth it to do these heads? So that's what we are. Let me know what you think. Maybe you've run into this before. Maybe it's no big deal, we fixed that. Let me know. Hope you enjoyed these videos, and I'm gonna move on to putting cam chains back in this and see how they go. So follow along. Thanks for subscribing and give us a thumbs up. So everybody, stay warm and God bless.